Okay, great souls. Another week sharing together. As we take a breath into the heart, I want to wish everyone, happy Mother's Day. And in yoga land, we call it Happy Divine Mother's Day, Divine Mother's Day, which is ideally every day. But we're focusing on those wonderful qualities. And I don't know if you know, there's a Yogapedia. If you ever want to get some information, there's a whole information anywhere on Google, but it's specifically for yoga. And Shakti is a quality of the feminine, the aspect in yoga. It's an active force. It represents really the true power of love, the depth of love, unconditional love, safety, transcendent consciousness, forgiveness, all those deep qualities of the Divine Mother, and the mother quality of feeling, and the father quality has, if you're wondering, is more steeped in reason. Of course, we have both. We know we're masculine and feminine, but we're honoring always both within us, but feeling that divine. And there's so many deities, goddesses, and all kinds of lineages around. If you want to look that up, around the goddess. I'll name a few: Lakshmi, abundance; Saraswati, wisdom; in Buddhism, Tara, liberation; Christianity, the Virgin Mary; nature, flowers, birds, and then there's a loving, but then there's also the Kali force, the Durga force of the sword, of cutting through delusion, cutting through. There could be violence to get to the deeper nature underneath. So it's just not all sweetness, although there's a lot of the other side to it. So in the Divine Mother, and I will get to the practice here soon, I promise, wears the face of the earthly mother. However imperfectly she may play that role. Okay, we're all works in progress. We all know hopefully we're doing the best we can in that motherhood role, or whatever roles you find yourself in. But it is a reflection of the earthly mother, the divine coming through, which is yoga and all the ways we talk about yoga, but the different forms and the different beings and the different, any way you could tune in to feel that divine love flow, and that need for cutting through and battle and sword energy at times. Okay, so may we all channel that energy, open to it. I'm going to roll back. For people coming online, you grab 2 blocks and a strap. And we will get started with the movement piece. So sitting comfortably. Taking a strap. Now you can have the strap, I have it wrapped because I use it as a sling a lot, but you can have it just open or in that loop. The main thing is you root down through the sit bones. You're going to breathe in and lengthen up. And I know you may not have a strap, so you may want to grab a towel or a shirt, anything that you could get this wide open heart happening. If you don't have a strap, you're going to reach your arms up. You're going to reach your arms up and expand. Full yogic breath. Breathe into the belly, the heart, the crown, beyond the crown, beyond the hands. Exhale. Just lengthen the inhale, lengthen the exhale. Now bringing the right bicep by the ear, and reaching down through the left arm. We're going to lengthen up through the right arm, and then reach down through the left arm. And breathe. Hear that oceanic sound. Opening up the divine love. And then let that divine love move through us. Whatever we're doing, wherever we meet, whatever service we're giving, or just being, feeling that presence ideally. Or we forget a lot, so we remember to return to. It's a big part of the practice. Inhale, coming into that V again. Open, expanded heart. I'm going to look up a bit. And then bring the left bicep by the ear, reach that right arm behind you. This is tremendous shoulder work, reaching the left arm up, the right arm down. Again, you can do this without a strap, but it's nice to have that traction. So a towel, your beauty of Zoom, we can grab things from home. Or even a belt will work. But feel the opening. Also feel any rocks or crunchy or tension places, stuck places. Breathe into those with compassion, with love. And then back to the V. Back to the V. And then reach behind you if possible. Ooh. And circle, not circle, but just angle toward that left knee. And gazing to that side. And then coming back to center. And angling if this is okay on your shoulders. If not, just release down and do the classic twist like this. This is quite a bit of opening. Specifically for the heart, the divine love, the wisdom, and joy, and compassion of the heart. And then back to center, reaching up. Ooh, open the hands. And then release the strap and just take that in. I'm going to turn my palms up, thumb, index, fingers together. If you want to bring hand to belly or heart, whatever feels right to you. As you tune into the central channel now. With our full yogic breath. Slow inhale. Belly, heart, crown, beyond the crown. Expanse of nature and energy consciousness drawing into this individual self. You could see what's percolating in your heart this morning. Qualities of the Divine Mother. Maybe tenderness or whatever's coming out, your own mother or earthly mother here or on the another plane. It's really, really tuning in for connection there through the heart. Okay. We're going to, as promised, use our blocks now. So we're going to have both of them by your side. We're going to take one and do some core work specifically. So planting the feet down and having the block, or you could use a heavy book, but I think you all have blocks. Reaching out in front of you. Now the key here is not to round the spine. It will want to round, but try to keep lifting through the heart. Inhale, lengthen up. And then exhale, reach it out. Now we're specifically going to ease back a little bit. And then lift up again. And take this in stages. Exhale out in front with the block. And now here we actually go for a rounded spine. Halfway. But then we lift the heart and reach up. Elongate the spine. Exhale. Big, strong exhale. Rounded spine. Halfway. Tucking the chin gently. And one more time. Inhale. Sweeping up. Exhale. Like we started. We're not rounding back. We're going to go to the side. We're going to go over to the side as much as your arms and torso want to twist, and then back to the center. And then this could be a lot, right? Over to the other side. Twisting, core, feeling it probably lots of places. back to center. Just one more time like this. Twisting over to one side, but extending out from the heart through the hands, very connected. And then back to center. And then over to the other side. Breathing in, breathing out. And then back to center. Okay, excellent. Let's go ahead and bring the blocks by your side because we'll be using them for our cat-cow. So again, the theme is getting a little bit of lift with the blocks. Just being open to doing our practice in just a subtly different way, which will most likely change that feeling somewhat, but still gain the benefits. So the hands are on the block. We're going to scoop the low, mid, upper back, open up, eye gaze up, cat stretch, and then exhale, round. Now, if you want to come back towards your heels, you're welcome to. Navel towards the spine. Keep going. Breathing in. Open to the stay. Showing up. Taking care of yourself in so many ways. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. As we exhale and round. Yin phase going in. Yang expanding out. Eye gaze up, inner elbows forward if you can. Okay, and then let's take rest. Let's exhale, let the knees go wider. Don't worry about the blocks and just moving them, my hands out to the side. Resting at the spiritual eye, our seat of intuition and higher guidance. See if you can breathe into the back of the heart. Okay, we're going to round up. Now this may feel different. It might feel better actually. We'll see, we're going to bring one block to the side and place our hand, and our left knee is on the ground. Our right leg is out to the side. So side stretch with the block. We're lifting our right arm up, expanding through the heart. And then if it works for you, lifting your right leg. We could flex and point through that right heel, bow the foot toes. You can make small circles 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the opposite. Okay, lower down and then feel that extension on the side body. If this works for you, really stretching and then opening the heart gently toward the sky. Breathe it in. Open to the heart qualities of love, joy, wisdom, peace. Reaching up and threading that arm down. Before we go to the other side, we are going to thread the needle. So you know, place the block over, thread this right arm through, rest on the right side of the head, the cheek. And then I like to stretch through both arms quite a bit. 3 to 5 breaths here. Stay with it. Sure no one else is trying to get on. Keep breathing. Remember, any affirmation that spoke to you or you're working with, open to giving and receiving. Open to giving and receiving. Slowly unfurl, come back. Circle the hips around. It could be a circle, it could be a figure 8. the flow and the strength, flexibility and strength. Okay, now of course we're going to do that to the other side. So we're going to take our block where the right knee is touching the earth, the left leg's extending, getting that side stretch, toes turned under the right foot, stretching up through the left arm. Breathing in, breathing out. See how this side feels at first. And you can stay here, or you can lift that left leg, flex and point, flex and point. Maybe make small circles. 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the opposite. Very good. Lowering down perhaps, or staying longer if you want as we do the extension. Just feel the energy and joy. It's like we do in triangle. Fill my body cells. And open the heart, energy and joy. Fill my body cells. So notice this lift, if it feels better for you, using the block. Reaching up. And we're going to go into that threading the needle gradually. So we come down onto the knees, move the block out to the side. That same arm that was extending up, the right hand's down, the left arm threads through, resting on the left side of the cheek, face, knees lined up with the hips. You can rock back and forth a little bit and then extend, stretching through both arms. 3 to 4 breaths here. Really opening the shoulders. Go inward and then slowly come back. Unfurl. Scoop out. Now this is going to feel very different. It does for me. Have to admit, I haven't really used the block in down dog, but when I was playing this week, I was trying this. So let's see what happens taking our block into our classic down dog. All right, placing the hands here, lifting the knees, and then, of course, we want that sticky mat so the blocks don't slide. And might feel a little bit more length, more lift. It's going to feel slightly different. It's a point. Still, we could tread out through the heels, staying as long as you like on each side or quickly, but allowing that calm energy, that peaceful energy to radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. So in yoga, we're deeply practicing, bringing others to the mat with us, wishing them whatever, some positive qualities, peace, calmness, wisdom, joy for ourselves and others. Feel that extension. And now, pretty different, most likely. I'm going to slide my blocks a little bit forward if you're still working with them. And we're going to come into our plank. Couple breaths here. And then knees, chest, and we're just sweeping through the blocks for a moment and then rising up. It feels different. Rising up into cobra. Sticking out the tongue. Okay, let's unfurl. Let's come down, ripple down, and move the blocks out to the side. Not sure about that one for my body on cobra. You see what works for you. What's pretty great to make sure we don't overdo the block, or our low back rather, by placing a block. First, we're going to rest and just take it in. Okay, so what I was talking about before, if you have any low back issues, and I know some of us on the call do, of course, that's very common. So that we don't overdo it in our back, we want to energize our legs. And by placing a block between the thighs and squeezing there, so I'm going to place it lengthwise, and don't lift the block off or anything. It's just there so that I squeeze the block, and that activates the legs so much that that's going to take less propensity to overdo in the low back. So you'll feel what I mean as we go along here. So you can have it upright, you can have it wider. We're going to do our locust. We're going to inhale, squeeze the block, which is activating the legs, and just see how that feels on your low back as we rise up, opening up, breathing in, breathing out. Exhale down. We're not holding for long. We're just getting the feel of using a block here to protect our low back in our locust series. And then opening our wings of joy, bringing the arms out to the side, pulsing up, legs strong. Those inner thighs really have to activate to squeeze that block, and it evens out the energy so that our low back doesn't take it all. Opening our wings of joy today, opening and breathing in to love, light, energy, and joy, and then exhale and rest. Back to the spiritual eye. Always, again, this energy is always here. We're just lighting it up more. We're tuning to it. Getting used to being in that connected place rather than other places our mind goes. But there's a really important point that in psychology, we're looking at the person is looking at the mind a lot, doing behavior changes, motivational changes, all kinds of stuff going on there. But in yoga psychology, this is really important, mind, and then our personhood body, the same side of a different coin, and the awareness is where the freedom is, looking at all of that, if that makes any sense. We're witness, observing, compassionately, watching personhood and mind, and just living from that place more. That's where the freedom is. All right, let's go ahead, squeeze the block, lift the heart, lift the head, lift the arms, pulse it up, exhale halfway down. So of course, we're reaching, opening the wings of joy, feeling sensation, feeling the breath, this personhood. But we're more than this person, is what's trying to be shown here. Pulsing up, something animating all of our forms greater than our individual self, yoga, union, whatever that is for you. Resting and returning and breathing into source consciousness, higher awareness. Deity is whatever is nature speaks to you and your heart. Okay, now we'll rise up into our King Cobra Bhujangasana. Hands by our side. We're still squeezing the block. Inhale, rising up. You can come half cobra or full cobra. Shoulders away from the ears. Lion's breath. Three times. Great. And then don't take the block with you. Let it drop. Turn the toes under. Do an opposite rounded cat. And we'll put the block to the side for a moment and do a regular down dog. Feel the difference. Hover the knees off the earth. Press into the base of the fingers. Tread it out. See if you could shift more weight into the thumb index finger. Inner arms. And then rooting down, small circles with the head if your neck's okay with this.
Again, invoking that calmness, the peace radiating through your heart and connecting to others, perhaps, that we bring to the mat with us. Sending them whatever qualities you like of love, peace, connection. And then slowly walking one foot, then the other forward, and then one hand and the other. Softening the knees, resting in our forward fold. I'm going to place the palms up and do a little side to side if that's too much to stay stable. But releasing any unnecessary fears, anxieties, procrastination, self-doubt. Part of the human condition, but we're letting that light get bigger, that awareness, which is already whole and free. Just return to that again and again. Letting the human tendencies to just soften for now. Fears, doubts, and worries, and the love to get bigger. The light to be bigger. It is. Just tuning into it. Okay. Sweeping the arms back, knees bend, heart lifts. Strong in the legs as we come forward. And pulse. Strengthening the entire body. And sweep back. And pulse forward again. Chair pose. Uttasana. Coming all the way up. I'm going to walk to the front of the mat. Reach the arms up. Expanding. And then mini back bend. Keep lifting through the heart. Exhale. Start to feel. Slowly bring the arms down and feeling the space around you. And circling. All right. Taking a moment in mountain pose. It's really rooting down, yielding, grounding into the earth. Move it forward. Your hands to our heart, maybe Eagle Heart Mudra. Feel whatever you're feeling, Divine Mother, Earthly Mother, the Divine Mother coming through the Earthly Mother. This could be very tender reflection. So be compassionate to yourself and connection to whoever you would like to connect to in this plane or the next. We're going to bring our hands to the heart, tap into the spiritual eye, get into a little bit of a deeper flow as we arc back, lengthen and grow, and swan dive forward. Thanking yourself for the willingness to play with the blocks, just to get a lift, a little change. We'll use them one more time, but for now, we're going to step back into our three-legged dog, or regular down dog, and three-legged dog is in your practice. So tread it out again. And start to bring the feet together, lifting the right leg up. Bend that right knee, rotate the ankle. And we're just going to do 2 pulses. Knee to chest, hover for strengthening. Strengthen the entire body. And then the right leg lifts again. And then knee to chest. And back one more time. And then lower that right leg. Come into our regular plank. And then bring one forearm down, then it's opposite. Keep it lengthening, reaching through the heels, to the crown, a couple breaths here. And tops of the knees touch. Sphinx pose, lift the heart, lift the crown. Now imagine that block between the inner thighs. That's how much squeeze we want in any of the Cobras or Locust series. Okay. Big exhale. We're going to open the quad more. So what does that look like? Right arm comes forward, left forearm in line with the mat. And first, we're just going to bring as much, and you can use a strap here. We're just going to open up that quad. So that might be a lot to reach back like that. If this is too much, you could lower down and grab that foot and open the quad that way. Okay. So this is still getting the quad stretch. This is a little bit more challenging to reach back and pull that leg towards you, but the left leg is still active. Okay, this is our half bow. And we're going to Ardha Dhanurasana. We're going to lift up maybe the right thigh. May not even look like I'm lifting it up, but I'm feeling it. Open into the light. With calm faith, I open to the light. Open to the strength, to the joy. And then the ease down. The ease down, let's all feel that by resting the forehead, spiritual eye, somewhere by the forearm, opening up the quad. And before we go to the other side, we're going to release down and just take that in. Sweep the arm forward. Deep belly breathing here. The legs can be wider than regular Shavasana, toes turned out. Tune into the breath or tune into an affirmation that may be arising from within you. What came up for me is I am one with the infinite Om. I'm one with the infinite Om. That Om sound is vibrating through our body. We're tuning into it from all the chakras. All right, let's go to the other side. Let's start with our head still down and reaching back to open the quad, reaching back to the left, grabbing the left ankle, shin, foot. Couple breaths here. And then notice when we lift the upper body, what that does. Imagine squeezing still a wider block, legs active. And of course, that left leg supercharged. And we're going to lift the left leg up as much as it will go. When I overdo, you can just stay on the ground, still get the quad opening. With calm faith, I open to the light. You can say thy light, make it more of a deity practice, or the light. And then slowly ease down. Keep that quad stretch opening. And release the left leg. Now notice the difference when we stack our hands and the large toes touch the heels apart, the more contained energy. Slow inhale, slow exhale. You don't have to go anywhere. You just come back to the beauty, the love of the heart, the natural compassion of the heart. What's going somewhere is the mind, right? It's going all over the place a lot of times. We just bring it back to the wisdom of the heart, the awareness of it all. Okay,
So we did our two sides, and then since we're on the ground here, let's even get into our shoulders a little deeper if that works for your body. I haven't taught this in a while. It's a good one. We're going to move these out of the way. You're going to bring our arms out to the side. We're going to rest on our left side cheek. Our right hand, we're going to bend the right knee. And we're going to lift up. I don't know if you can see, I'm going to show you what we're getting underneath this left scapula. Okay. You can bend both knees to do this and go like that. You can get one leg extended and do what you're doing. The main thing is you're twisting the torso and the legs, especially that right leg toward the sky, to open up underneath that left scapula. So you can probably really feel that. It's too much on the neck. You can put a blanket here. But getting underneath that, really dental flossing any stuckness in our wings of joy. And then slowly come back down. So I'm going to extend the leg. Come back down. Maybe get a better visual of this if I started on this side. Right arm extends. Right side of the head touches the earth. Left elbow bends. You can bend both knees or especially that left knee. I'll try both on this side. And then we're pressing and opening the hips to get in underneath the right scapula. Breathing in, breathing out. Having our wings of joy, any stuckness, breathe into it, ease back any way you like. It's deep. And then coming back, extending the bottom leg, and then coming down. Woo. And resting and breathing and receiving the opening in our quads, especially in our shoulders in that series, spine. Okay, so that is all building to our next flow here. First, we're going to rise up and our Bhujangasana and our Cobra. Imagine that block there. Squeeze it. Hands underneath the shoulders, legs strong, either mini Cobra, half Cobra, or full Cobra. Open heart to greet this day. Let it lead the way. Shimmy shake a little bit. And then reverse it. You could rest in child's or prayer pose, or you could take it into the rounded cat. And either way, at your pace and timing, we'll meet in down dog. So of course, if we want to rest in child's longer, feel free. Let's add some fire here, breath of fire. Let's exhale strongly 10 times through the nostrils as you draw the navel to the spine. You can press through the base of the fingers to count. Begin. Slow it down. And then go ahead and walk one foot forward, then the other. We know how this goes. And the other hand. The ease side to side with the hips. The massage, the back of the neck. But ego that's so used to just, it's such a habit really of just a personhood kind of running the show. Of course, we're all, we have this being, we have this ego, but we don't want to limit ourselves to only that. We want the big flow coming through that. And all these various practices help us in that.
The fact that we're all doing yoga, it shows that it breaks some of that, a big part of that conditioning, habit formation of the me and the mind. And we're gonna round up or straight spine. I'm gonna straight spine it. Sweeping up.
Coming to the front of the mat. Letting the arms open. And coming back to our mountain pose, eagle heart mudra, wherever the hands like to be as you yield into the earth. Opening to the awakening of the higher consciousness within, for yourself and all beings. You can be one with that infinite Om. Okay, we'll keep flowing as promised. So we are going to use the block to go into our balance. We like to always add a balance pose in every class. Now, if you want to use the wall, you're more than welcome to use the wall. I'm going to do it freestanding, wall behind you. We'll have a moment in Trikonasana and then going to the one-legged half moon pose. Okay, so opening the heart, opening and reaching over, taking your time. Should have brought the block a little bit closer for the triangle. Most of us are used to working with this block with triangle. Stacking the shoulders. I'm going to add mudra, thumb, index finger together, head to tail connected, physical alignment principles check. So that we can go into the divine alignment of the bigger energy and joy. Fill my body cells. We talked last week how joy of the heart is not only pumping blood, it's pumping joy into our being if we open to it. And we're really opening to it now. Energy and joy. Fill my body cells. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to wrap that arm gently around her and place it by your hip. Either way. Bending your left knee. And this is where we take the block either on the side or upright. Okay, or even flat. I'm going to try it like this today. I'm going to step the right foot forward, look at him point in front of the left toes, and do the lift off. So both knees bend, but the right leg extends. Now, you could stay here looking on the ground. It's a little more challenging to open the arm, open the heart, head's turning gently to the side. I expand fully into this moment. Moment to moment awareness. I expand fully into this moment. Mindfulness again and again, moment to moment awareness. Feel yourself away from this awareness. We could come back because it's always here. Take a moment and split. And just enough to transition. Bending the left knee quite a bit. Now, before we go the other side, we did that prep for our half bow. So now we're going to do half camel. So I'm going to bring the blanket, even though there's a rug here. I like a lot of padding for my knees. Okay. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to place the block by the outside of the right calf. You can have the other block here, okay. But we're lifting up. Tailbone is drawing down. See if your body wants to do this. Do another pose if you like. Sweep that arm back. You can reach to the back of the thigh, the calf, or the block. I'm going to use the block for the sake of demo. Left arm comes up, hips come forward. Ardha Ustrasana. With that affirmation, with calm faith, I open to the light. With calm faith, I open to the light. So we're doing a variation on our belly. Now we're in our lunge. Very expansive. One more affirmation inwardly with calm faith. I open to the light or thy light. See what feels right to you. As you come forward, swoop this other arm forward before we go the other side. Let's do our Hanumanasana half split. Feeling the left toes back, right hand opposite of the back bend. Forward bend. If this is too much, you could come down and do a Jani Shushasana. The main thing is to get that forward bend after the back bend. We know back bends are highly energizing, forward bends very calming. We want that balance of yin and yang with every breath. And then we really amplified in the Hatha Yoga movements, the yin and the yang. All right, so transitioning. I love this. We do this, I think every time I try anyway, every day to open the hips deeply, rocking side to side. There we did that deeper shoulder opening, deeper hip opening. Woo. Twisting a little bit if you can, if that feels right to you. And recalling all those scattered forces to recharge your spine. All right, and the energy going all these directions, we just bring it in and into the heart. Take a moment to transition, stretch it out, elongate, extended wide-legged forward fold, just enough to walk it back, and have our block set up for our triangle, but really focusing, of course, on the triangle and the half moon. Okay, so we come up as gracefully as possible. Very good, thank you. Left toes in, right foot out, expanding. And at home, I'm just seeing all these blooms going on. It's incredible out there and in here. As we reach over and expand, that's my block by the little toe side of the foot, or you put it on the instep. You feel that lift. Get the physical alignment, head to tail connected, shoulders stacked, legs strong. And then the affirmation. We want to be kind to the mind with our affirmation. Energy and joy fill my body cells. Sweeping around. Energy and joy fill my body cells. 2 or 3 times. When it feels right for the transition into standing half moon, take your time bending your right knee, placing your block diagonal to the little toe side of the foot, and step that left foot in quite a bit, look in front of the right toes, and see how our lift off is on this side. Looking down at first, and then maybe unraveling that arm, head looking slowly forward at a point in front of you. I expand fully into this moment. I expand fully into this moment. All right, and this side's easier today. Check it out for yourself. The hand comes down to just taste the half split, standing split, enough to transition back into our half camel. Ardha Chandrasana. Let's see, I'll face this way to get a little bit more clarity going on. Hopefully. All right, so I'm going to place the block by the calf, either upright. Yeah, there we go. Tailbone down, Heart lifted. You might want to, I need to walk my right foot out to the side, get a wider base there going on. And then the left arm comes up and around. This requires a lot of shoulder and hip opener simultaneously. And then reaching perhaps the right arm up. With calm faith, I open to light. Our wisdom, the joy, thy peace. What qualities are we bringing in? With calm faith, I open to the light. These are all divine qualities. Love, light, wisdom, joy, peace, love, the right use of power. We're opening to the divine love. It's the theme of every day, ideally, but especially Mother's Day weekend. Reaching up, oh, like the love, the light is reaching up your hand up. And then we ease into our hydration of the hips. Coming on top of that knee to be shaken side to side. You go as deep as you like in the hip opening. Okay. And transitioning, turning the back toes under, coming into that wide-legged angle forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. I'm going to use my block out in front of me. Elongate the spine. Yeah, the space. The grace of space. Space between each vertebra and the physical body. And space and openness of love in the heart. We need to open, feel that love. Heel toe it in. Okay, if possible, we're going to come into a squat, malasana, this way. And the hands come to the heart. Just rock side to side. We're starting to cool down, and we're beginning to cool down. But we want that heat, we want the strength building, want the flexibility, and we want the yin cooling. It's all going on here in our practice. So wonderful. Thank you, body, for what you can do. And coming into a butterfly seated, circling around, swirling chest, and of course the hips benefit 3 times in one direction. 3 times in the opposite. Elongating. Full yogic breath. Just getting used to tuning in. Just keep tuning into the heart, tuning into the awareness that's aware of the mind and this personhood. Again, there's a lot of deep habit conditioning, which is in our person. So much of the time it's much more free when we're attuned to that life force energy that's animating our form and all forms. I'll say it over and over and over and over again in the yoga classes, because we need to remember, because we forget. I speak for myself, let's forget. The breath practices, the affirmation, the movements, nature, connection, all these things help us remember. All right, let's start to take our block and come down. So before we come down, let's just remember, if you like this, you can add this for core strengthening. Reach the block out in front. Remember how we started way long ago. And then we lift up. And then we bring that block out in front, and then we round. halfway. Ooh. Do it one more time. We lift out in front. We lift up. And now as we exhale, big exhales, we're going to slowly come down. Tuck the tailbone under. Melting the low, mid, upper back. If you want to place slowly, release that block behind you. Out of the way. Did a lot of floor work on our belly, but not on our back. So, big exhales and we rock side to side, ironing out the back. Head's going along for the ride. Inner borders of the feet together, hands on the knees, circle the knees apart, and then draw them in together. Pilates hip opener, wonderful. Do every day. And then circling the other way. Awesome. And then happy baby pose, lifting those feet up, rocking from the right side over to the left. Again, if you want to extend one leg, scooch forward for the space for it. And then the opposite, or stay with the legs open. So same thing we did, but on our back, so the extended leg pose. Opening our hamstrings and our hips and releasing our spine. Okay, bending the knees. Let's do one bridge before we do our twist and restoration shavasana. So large toes turn in. Oh, our friend, yet again, the block theme today. These are pretty heavy blocks. These are wooden blocks. It's nice to have the foam, whatever you got, but it's a little intense for the, I find, for the bridge with the wooden block, but here I am. We're going to open up the heart, and you don't have the block, that squeezing action. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing as we lift up. And breathe. You could stay here, or lots of variations. We could interlock with a slight bend of the elbow and circle like a dinner plate. Again, those thoughts, the mind goes in all kinds of directions, but we can bring it back. We can bring it back. The more we practice, the more we know. We can do balanced thinking and psychology, CBT, DBT, there's whole lots of stuff we can do around that. Yoga psychology will bring it back to the source that's holding the person, the thoughts, the feelings. Every thought can bring us away, and the thoughts could return us to infinite self, true divine awareness within all beings. All beings. Okay, we could bring the arms overhead. I'm going to bring them, I'm going to do a little circling because I'm really holding the block here. And then slowly coming down, melting down. Taking the block out, folding that right knee in. Tuning in, bring those shoulders away from the ears. Does that left knee want to stay bent to protect the low back, or can it extend out? Feeling the left toes up toward the sky as we circle that right knee around. And planting the right foot down, arms out to the sides. We know this one, swivel the hips. And lying down twist, pulsing back and forth. So many of us start the yoga practice, hatha yoga, for the physical benefits, which are profound. I know that was my journey when I was 17, I'm 60.
And then through that, we tune in, and we have the space, the grace of allowing ourselves to drop more deeper into what's here, the spiritual awareness, the space, the grace, whatever you call that, the love, the peace. And it doesn't have to be sold, because we just feel it. It's such a beautiful thing to practice physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. But many of us, yeah, so give your credit for showing up and whatever brought you to the door of yoga. As we sweep our right arm up and around, that right leg's going to be stable. And we're going to affirm what it's all about. Divine light is within me and all around me. Divine light is within me and all around me. Press through that left elbow. Open the heart. Yeah, just, the natural love of the heart as we lift that right knee and swivel. Fold that right knee to the shoulder and ease down. You don't have to lift your head up. I was just doing that to check the time. Before we go to the other side, let's do that rocking. Tension release, trauma release. Bilateral movement. Yoga is full of it, but this is all the movements are bilateral, but now we're very specifically moving the head to the left and back to center as the leg goes to the right and back to center. 10 to 12 times. Again, tremendous for our physical healing, our psychological, emotional healing, mental, and coming back, hand on the belly, hand on the heart. With a spiritual awareness that's already whole, already free, already aware. Okay, let's get that left side, the lunar side, the yin, inner borders of feet together, bending that left knee in. If it's too much on your low back, bend the right knee as well. Circle. Knee around. Planting that left foot, lifting the hips, swiveling up. Opposite hand to knee, pulsing back and forth, hydrating. Knee and shoulder, knee and shoulder. And then let that knee come up so the back of the heart, the back of the shoulders touch. Rotate the right toes up, keep that core engagement, and then the sweeping of the left arm. Head's going along with the movement and neck. And wow, so beautiful affirmation. Divine life is within me and all around me. And there's deeper practices, even when it's really hard to feel that, to try to send that energy to difficult people in your life, difficult circumstances in your life, the challenges. Of course, it's much easier when things are going fairly smoothly. And then, we've been around enough to know our loved ones, etc. Stuff comes up, and can we still open to that divine life within and all around you? At some point, may be a process, may be some time, but eventually returning, or perhaps being in that as you're going through whatever circumstances may be super hard. Even more reason for the love and compassion. Find life within you and all around you. So plant that foot down, adjust, fold in, and descend that left leg. nice wide apart. What feels good to you, shoulders away from the ears, and begin that rocking like a windshield wiper of the left leg. And once that's going, the head turns to the right and back to center. One side may be easier than the other to get these opposites going. We're seeing a lot of live in duality. Yoga's given the gift. Come to neutrality. But then Yogananda takes that deeper. He says, okay, most of us are lucky if we get to neutrality. Okay. So stabilizing. So that would be the piece of neutrality through the central channel here. Let's breathe into it. But then what's, again, pointing to awareness, what's underneath all of that, even the neutrality? Try to take that in, our mind, our personhood, the flip side of the same coin. There's something aware of all of that, even our neutrality. Belly, chest, crown expands beyond the crown on the inhale, on the exhale, crown, heart, belly, feet, beyond the feet, beyond the body, then and beyond. And then we move into restoration, deep, deep invitation to Shavasana, to peace, to the deeper calmness, to dying to only our personhood and ego and wants and needs and desires. We're just letting that all just melt. You may want to come into Supta Baddha Komasana, maybe with a bolster, you know the options. You get really cozy at home with furniture, if that works for you, a couch or a chair like this, legs up the wall. You know, just ask what your body needs. What would feel really good for restoration today? Getting any bolsters or eye bags or anything you need to make this even more restorative. All right. As you're getting settled in, just tuning to the freedom and natural peace, love, and joy of the heart and of the soul. We're really talking about soul consciousness here. The human heart, of course, can have a lot of attachments and desires, but the soul is joyful and free. We talked about that pure heart earlier. Okay, so getting settled in, I'm going to guide you through body scan. Starting with the crown, if your head is able to ease from side to side, go ahead and let your neck release. Let your forehead soften. If it's helpful to have an image of a bucket, and we're just like putting any worries into that bucket, things we can't control, the stuff people may put on us, can't control that either. We're just putting it into the worry bucket, letting it go. Relaxing the jaw, maybe exaggerating a yawn.
And feel on your next inhale the cool air coming in through both nostrils and perhaps coolness at the spiritual eye. Maybe rest a moment at the end of your exhale, your next exhale. Before the inhalation arises. Relaxing the tongue, the root of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the gums. Take it a moment to just open to the sounds within, the sounds around you, inviting the left and right ear canals to open up. And the shoulders soften away from the ears. And feel that radiant sensation streamlining through the arms, natural bend of the elbows, natural bend of the wrists, pulsation, maybe even heat in the palms of the hands, digits of the fingers. Thumbs. And we really drop into our heart and breathe into the floor, the ceiling, the sidewalls of the chest. Trusting the love there, the wisdom love of the heart, the attachment love of the heart, forgiveness. There's true healing. We're open to it, open to a larger source. Gift of compassion. You feel that not only in the organ of the heart, but just knowing all the internal organs are being nourished, fortified. Cells of the body are smiling, receiving this light, love, energy. Belly, low back's expanding. Really supported by the earth underneath you. Back body getting heavier. Front body lighter. And just continuing the body scan awareness in the cheeks, the thighs, knees, calves, ankles, soles of the feet, digits of the toes and heels, left and right. Letting the joy kosha permeate the wholeness, the witness observer, the awareness, whatever you call that, deity. Shakti, the true power of unconditional love, safety, and transcendental consciousness. And just know that love, pure love, is always loving you. It's always here. And just notice if it's time for you to return to movement, or if you'd like to stay in deep restoration. If you are just returning to movement, just do so gradually, gracefully, easily, resting on your side. And you could send the Om vibrations wherever you are with the intention. It's the intention of sending the Om vibrations, that Om that's within us. I'm one with the infinite Om. To others, again, this could be very tender of beings on the other, however you frame that, not on the earth plane anymore, but in a different plane. We're going to, or anybody that comes to your heart and your mind, visualizing them. I'm going to rub the hands together to generate some heat. And let the sound come from the belly and the heart. And spiritual eye. Inhale. Ah. Oh. Ah. Ah. If you'd like, bringing the hands together in Namaste, bowing to the wisdom of the heart, letting it lead the way, tuning in, sending that divine love, whether people know it or not, to everyone and everything. It's within everyone and everything, either latent or expressed, or somewhere in between there, as we ease into our day and our weekend with the love of the Divine Mother. I am going to end the recording.